So I think that a lot of people have misconceptions about marijuana today because they remember marijuana from 30 or 40 years ago. I think people need to realize that today's marijuana is not that marijuana. We're talking about gummy bears, candies, ice creams, sodas, concentrates that can be up to 99%, even 100% pure THC versus 3% Woodstock weed, or the stuff in the 80s and 90s that maybe hovered around 5 or 6% potent. Essentially, if you want to use an analogy, it was like somebody who drank the caffeine worth found in one 20-ounce Coca-Cola versus the caffeine found in today would be 33 medium Starbucks cappuccinos. And that's concerning. And that's why when people are pushing to legalize or commercialize marijuana, they're really only pushing an addiction for profits. This is about money. This is about a small number of corporations. Big tobacco is really invested and involved in it. Big alcohol is too, as well, and even big pharma. And so not surprising that that cast of characters, which is all about, downplaying risks of their products so that they can increase the use, it's not a surprise that they're getting into the pot business. It's not about mom and pop and, helping disenfranchised communities. In fact, if you look around the country, it is minority communities that are suffering from the legalization and commercialization of marijuana the most. Why? They have fewer resources to get treatment. They have fewer get-out-of-jail-free cards. And guess what? Black entrepreneurs are not getting rich from the legalization of marijuana. And, when you look at polling, people say, well, this is inevitable, it's happening. It really matters on how you frame the question. Most people who are in favor of marijuana legalization, they're actually in favor of more removing the criminal penalties, not putting people in jail, but they're not necessarily in favor of a pot shop in their neighborhood. That's why in Colorado and California and most states that have legalized, the majority of localities have kept it illegal. They don't want it in their community. I never heard of somebody ask a realtor, take me to the good neighborhoods where the pot shops are. That's going to be good for my property value. It doesn't get asked because it would reduce the property value, not increase it. It increases crime, not decreases it. Speaking of crime, the underground illegal market of marijuana has greatly benefited from the legalization because when you increase the demand for this drug, the government cannot keep up with that increase, and instead those illegal black market actors are more than happy to fill the gaps. They're not paying taxes, they're not worried about age limits, they're not worried about bureaucratic rules coming down from state capitals. They're able to sell it like they always have. So all of these promises will have fewer people in jail, we'll have more social justice, we'll have more tax revenue, we'll be able to fund things. That is not happening in any of these states, and that doesn't even count the costs in DWI, the costs in lost productivity, the costs in crime, by the way. And if more people are using generally, more of those crime costs go up as well. That doesn't just magically disappear when you legalize marijuana. So I would really caution people against supporting the commercialization of marijuana because you are enriching an industry whose business it is to get you using their product as much and as unhealthily as possible. So I think a lot of people can get discouraged when they read news reports that marijuana is inevitable, that everyone loves it, it's being embraced by everybody. But the reality is in 2022, we've seen headlines from publications like the New York Times, from CNN, MSNBC, talking about the harms of marijuana, because unfortunately sometimes we have to live the harms. We don't believe it until it happens, and this is now happening around the country as we've accepted marijuana more and more. And when I look at every single medical association that is strongly against the legalization of marijuana, that is strongly warning the American people from a scientific perspective about why this isn't good, I'm greatly heartened about this cause and what we're all doing.